Welcome to this YouTube channel. So in this video, let's discuss about ARDS, that is acute respiratory distress syndrome, which is also known as diffuse alveolar damage, shock lung, hyaline membrane disease. So it is a very severe life-threatening condition which is a medical emergency. Next is the definition of ARDS. ARDS is a sudden progressive form of respiratory failure which is characterized by severe dyspnea, refractory hypoxemia and diffuse bilateral infiltrates. So it is characterized by severe breathing difficulty, refractory hypoxemia, that is inadequate alveolar oxygenation, and diffuse bilateral infiltrates. So there will be infiltrates like interleukins, bradykinins, leukocytes, neutrophils, etc. So it follows acute and massive lung injury. So this ARDS is caused due to a lung injury. Next, let's see the etiological factors that leads to ARDS. So the etiology is grouped under direct lung injury and indirect lung injury. So under direct lung injury, we have viral, bacterial and fungal pneumonias, lung contusions, fat embolus, aspiration, that is vomiters, drowning or foreign material aspiration, then massive smoke inhalation, then inhaled toxins, prolonged exposure to higher concentrations of oxygen that leads to oxygen toxicity. So these are the causes that leads to a direct lung injury. Next is indirect lung injury causes. There can be sepsis, shock, multisystem trauma, DIC, pancreatitis, then uremia, drug overdose, anaphylaxis, idiopathic causes, then massive blood transfusions, then pregnancy-induced hypertension, radiation and increased intracranial pressure. So these are the etiological factors that is grouped under direct lung injury and indirect lung injury that leads to ARDS. So the clinical manifestations can be increased respiratory rate, then dyspnea, adventitious sound may be present, then hypoxemia, respiratory alkalosis, which is present in the initial stages of ARDS due to hyperventilation. Next, let's see the pathophysiology. So, first step is endothelial activation. So, this endothelium is activated by the following steps, that is pneumocyte injury. So pneumocytes are the specific cells that is present inside the lungs. So there is a pneumocyte injury due to these etiological factors. So this pneumocyte injury is sensed by resident alveolar macrophages. These are the macrophages that is present inside the alveoli. So these senses the pneumocyte injury, then it releases TNFs and interleukins. So this tumor necrosing factors and interleukins again causes endothelial injury, and it activates the endothelial cells to express the adhesion molecules. So these adhesion molecules are neutrophils. So these TNFs and interleukins activates the endothelial cells, which in turn expresses the adhesion molecules, that is the neutrophils. So the next step is adhesion and extravasation of neutrophils. So neutrophils are there to the activated endothelium. So after the adhesion, these neutrophils migrate to the alveoli, and when it reaches the alveoli, it releases proteases, reactive oxygen species and cytokines. So this proteases degrades the proteins inside the alveoli. Reactive oxygen species damages the endothelium, and the cytokines increases the recruitment of leukocytes, and which in turn increases the endothelial injury. So the next step is the pathophysiology is the accumulation of intra-alveolar fluid and hyaline membrane. So when there is an endothelial injury and type 2 pneumocyte injury, there will be a pulmonary capillary leakage and surfactant abnormality due to type 2 pneumocyte injury. So this surfactant abnormality or decreased surfactant concentrations leads to decreased gas exchange. Then this pulmonary capillary leakage allows intra-alveolar edema fluid formation, since there is a leakage in the pulmonary capillaries. So this edema formation will be of protein rich. So this protein rich edema, debris and dead alveolar epithelium leads to hyaline membrane formation. So the name hyaline membrane disease. So the inside the alveolar wall there will be hyaline membranes will be formed. Okay. Next, let's see the management of ARDS in very brief. So the first step will be to the support respiration and ventilation. To support respiration and ventilation, we can provide mechanical ventilation, ET tube intubation, So nitric oxide is now being used since it's a powerful vasodilator which helps in the vasodilation of pulmonary vascular system. And antioxidants can be used if the ARDS is caused due to oxygen toxicity. Then N-acetylcysteines to fight against the proteases. So next step is to maintain hemodynamic stability. So inotropic agents like dobutamine can be used to maintain hemodynamic stability, which increases the cardiac output. Next, we should treat the underlying condition or the etiological causes should be treated. Then we should monitor for complications like lung fibrosis, renal failure, sepsis, etc. So this is all about ARDS. So thank you.